What if the greatest minds in history weren't just genius, but touched, not by religion, but by something we can't quite name, a holy sense, that strange perception beyond logic, a whisper that makes the invisible visible. This is the story of those who could sense the divine in the geometry of shadows, in music, in color, in truth, even in money. From Eratosthenes and Newton to Saint Augustine and Keynes, from Mozart and Van Gogh to Lincoln. Stay with us for 10 minutes as we explore the strange light that guided those who could sense what others can barely see. Long before satellites and space telescopes, a man looked into a well and saw the shape of the earth. He noticed what others ignored. At noon in Syene the sun cast no shadow. In Alexandria a slender line appeared. Most shrugged, he measured. Boom! Born around 276 BC in Cyrene, Eratosthenes studied poetry, math, and philosophy in Athens before becoming the chief librarian of Alexandria. Friends nicknamed him Beta, second best at everything, a gentle insult that hid a fierce curiosity. He mapped the inhabited world, estimated the distance to the sun, and wrote on prime numbers. A generalist among specialists, he treated knowledge like a single woven fabric. With a stick, a well, and faith in proportion, he found an angle, scaled a distance, and circled a planet. No oracle, no miracle, just geometry lit by wonder. He sensed order behind appearances, that truth could be touched by thought alone. He taught us that measurement is a form of prayer, a way of saying, the world is intelligible. 2,000 years later, another solitary mind would feel that same hidden thread, not in light, but in falling. A walled garden, a quiet mind, a falling apple, and the heavens moved. He didn't see coincidence. He saw connection. What bends an apple, bends a moon. One law, everywhere. Oh yes, Isaac Newton was born in 1643 in Woolsthorpe, Lincolnshire. Frail, introverted, raised largely by his grandmother, he escaped into tinkering and thought. At Cambridge he built reflecting telescopes, split sunlight into colors, and drafted secret notebooks of calculus. During the plague years, alone at home he conceived gravity, optics, and motion, the annus mirabilis of a mind in isolation. He turned a hunch into law, equations like iron rails the cosmos runs on. He believed the universe was written in divine numbers, and he was learning the grammar. His holy sense was precision warmed by faith. He felt that to understand the world was to honor its maker, and yet his formulas stood even without belief. Where Eratosthenes measured stillness, Newton measured motion, the secret will in things that fall and things that circle. But not every revelation speaks in symbols, some arrive as music. Imagine melodies arriving whole, perfect, unstoppable, not invented, remembered, as if someone were dictating from a higher room. He wrote fast, laughed fast, lived fast, and yet his music breathes like eternity. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in 1756 in Salzburg. A prodigy touring Europe as a child, he played for emperors and exhausted patrons. He battled money troubles, illness, and the grind of court politics. In 3 whirlwind decades he created over 600 works, operas, concertos, symphonies, quartets, architecture in motion. He died at 35, leaving pages that feel finished by the sky. He said ideas appeared when he was completely himself, as if his own silence tuned into a larger harmony. Listen to the slow movements, time dissolves, and feeling finds a perfect shape. His holy sense turned emotion into structure. Grief became geometry. Joy became law. He proved that beauty can be true, that truth can sing. While Mozart heard heaven, another restless soul tried to reason it, to show that faith and mind could share one flame. Augustine wrestled with himself, desire against duty, brilliance against belief. He refused to pick a side, faith without reason, blindness, reason without faith, emptiness. Born in 354 in Tagaste, modern Algeria, Augustine studied rhetoric, taught in Carthage and Milan, and pursued every fashion of philosophy and passion. A mother's prayers and a bishop's sermons finally pierced his armor. After a moment of scripture, take and read, he converted, returned to Africa, and became Bishop of Hippo. In books like Confessions and City of God he shaped Western thought for a millennium. He found God not in spectacle, but in coherence, the serenity that comes when love and logic stop fighting. His holy sense was a bridge, philosophy baptized, devotion disciplined. He did not silence doubt, he gave it grammar. And yet, harmony can break the heart. Sometimes the holy sense arrives as too much feeling, a flood of color, a storm of soul. He saw the world violently alive. Blue was loneliness, yellow was hope that refuses to die. Stars pulsed like prayers. He didn't paint what he saw, he painted what he felt, and the canvas shook with it. Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853 in the Netherlands. He failed as preacher, teacher, art dealer, and lover. He wrote nearly 900 letters, mostly to his brother Theo, who kept him fed and believed when few did. In the south of France, the light broke him open. Wheat fields, cypress, night skies, and the work poured out. He sold one painting in his lifetime. One. When he painted the starry night, he wasn't copying the sky, he was confessing. Boom. Each stroke is a heartbeat, each surface vibrates with the ache of being alive. Call it madness if you like, it also looks a lot like truth with the volume turned up. Van Gogh's holy sense hurt, but it transfigured pain into radiance. And yet the holiest light can also be gentle, a steady flame of conscience in a storm. He wasn't a prophet by birth, but by burden. History climbed on his shoulders and refused to climb down. He dreamed of his death and kept walking. He read omens and chose mercy. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 in a Kentucky log cabin. Poor, self-taught, he read law by firelight and learned rhetoric on frontier circuits. As president, he managed egos, defeats, and the mathematics of war with uncanny patience. He spoke slowly, felt deeply, and believed words could heal. At the moment of victory, he was killed. A martyr to union and emancipation. Where others demanded vengeance, he spoke of charity for all. Where fury was policy, he whispered forgiveness. His holy sense was moral sight, seeing people, not factions, futures, not only wounds. He believed freedom was sacred, and government was the steward of that sacredness. When the cannons went silent, a new battlefield emerged, not of muskets or sermons, but of confidence. He didn't invent electricity, he heard it. To most, thunder was weather. To Tesla, it was language. The universe speaking in current and charge. Boom. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in a small Croatian village, the son of a priest and a mother who built tools from memory. He studied engineering in Graz, worked in Paris, then crossed the ocean with 4 cents and a notebook of visions. In New York he labored for Edison, quarreled, struck out alone, and filled the skyline with ideas decades ahead of their time. He dreamed of power that flowed freely through air, of light that could heal, of machines moved by the Earth's magnetic breath. He slept little, walked endlessly, and claimed to see entire inventions glowing before him in the dark. He said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge and strength." Oh yes, his holy sense was electrical and spiritual at once. He built coils that roared like gods, lightning spirals 10 meters high, and believed that energy itself was divine substance. Every spark a heartbeat of creation. But he also lived the paradox of genius, rich in imagination, poor in everything else. He fed pigeons, spoke to stars, and died alone in a hotel room filled with blueprints no one read. And yet, look around today. Every wireless signal, every humming transformer, every screen glowing in the night still carries the echo of his vision. Tesla's holy sense was to feel the invisible, to touch the energy that threads matter and mind. He didn't just study electricity, he became its prophet. The Great Depression emptied streets and bellies, factories quiet, markets broken, hope on pause. While others counted ruins, he listened for a pulse. He found it in belief. Oh yes, John Maynard Keynes was born in 1883 in Cambridge, economist, essayist, investor, patron of the arts. He moved easily among markets and salons. He lost fortunes and made them back. He negotiated at Versailles, warned against vindictive peace, and redesigned capitalism to survive shocks. Elegant, ironic, relentless, he argued that ideas, properly timed, can rescue millions. He called the hidden driver animal spirits, the shared optimism that funds tomorrow. When belief collapses, so does prosperity. Keynes urged governments to act like healers, to spend when citizens cannot, to build trust until private courage returns. His holy sense turned money into a mirror of the heart. Under the graphs and debates beats a simpler truth. Societies run on faith. the secular kind that hopes and tries again. From Eratosthenes' shadows to Newton's stars, from Mozart's notes to Van Gogh's colors, from Augustine's logic to Lincoln's compassion, from Tesla's electrical sense to Keynes's invisible faith, they all shared one thing, a holy sense, a way of feeling the universe before explaining it. Maybe it wasn't divine at all. Maybe it was human. The ability to sense unity in chaos, to feel meaning before proving it, to listen deeply to what reason alone cannot hear. And maybe that's what makes us divine. Not certainty, but perception. Because history isn't made only by reason, it's made by revelation. So next time you feel that spark of intuition, that sudden knowing you can't explain, remember, it might be the same light that guided them. Stay curious.